What if I told you that the most powerful way to turn a woman on has absolutely nothing to do with touching her? No flirting tricks, no rehearsed lines, no trying to impress her or prove yourself. In fact, the men who rely on touch the most are often the ones she forgets the fastest. Real attraction doesn't begin in the body. It begins in the mind, and once it starts there, it lingers far longer than anything physical ever could. Think about this for a moment. You've probably seen men who don't talk much, don't chase attention, and don't try to be the center of the room, yet women seem drawn to them effortlessly. Not entertained. Not impressed. Drawn. Even when he's not present, she still feels his presence. That isn't luck, confidence, or charm alone. That is psychological tension, and it's something most men never learn how to create. Most guys rush. They speak too much, explain too much, and try too hard to be liked. They attempt to build attraction through action instead of awareness. They touch before they are felt. And the moment they do, the mystery disappears. Desire fades because the strongest form of attraction is always the one that hasn't been fully satisfied. Here's the truth few people talk about. A woman isn't turned on by what you do to her. She's turned on by how she feels about herself when she's around you. When she feels seen without being examined, challenged without being pressured, understood without being chased, something shifts inside her. She becomes curious. She becomes alert. She leans in emotionally before she ever moves physically. This kind of attraction doesn't make her excited in a loud way. It makes her quiet. Reflective. It makes her replay conversations in her head and wonder why you feel different from everyone else. It makes her sense depth where other men offer noise. This isn't about manipulation or tricks. It's about mastering the non-physical signals that create attraction naturally: your presence, your attention, your restraint, your ability to be comfortable in silence. When you stop trying to close the distance, she starts feeling it herself. And once you understand this, you stop chasing entirely. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why the men who touch the least are often the ones women desire the most. To truly understand this, we have to look at the chemistry of the brain. Most men think attraction is a linear path: you meet, you talk, you touch, and then she's interested. But the female brain functions on a much more complex level of anticipation. There is a specific neurotransmitter called dopamine that is released not when we get what we want, but when we are in pursuit of it. When you touch a woman too early, or when you are too available, you satisfy that pursuit. You kill the dopamine. But when you maintain a mental and emotional distance while projecting a powerful presence, her brain begins to loop. She begins to wonder. She begins to fill in the blanks about who you are and what you're thinking. This is where real desire is born. It is born in the space between two people. If you close that space too quickly with physical touch, the magic evaporates. You want to be the man who stays in that space, comfortable and unbothered, letting the tension build until it becomes an almost heavy, electric weight in the air. This is the difference between a spark and a slow-burning fire. A spark is easy to create but vanishes in a second. A slow-burning fire, fueled by psychological intrigue, can last a lifetime. The first pillar of this invisible attraction is the art of making her feel seen. Most men look at a woman and see her beauty, her style, or her status. They compliment her on things she hears a dozen times a day. But if you want to turn her on without touching her, you have to look deeper. You have to notice the things she doesn't realize she's projecting. This is the power of observation. When you are in a conversation, stop worrying about what you are going to say next. Stop trying to be funny or clever. Instead, observe the nuances. Notice how her voice changes when she talks about something she loves. Notice the small, quirky habit she has when she's nervous. Notice the way she looks away when she's thinking deeply. When you bring these things up, not as a rehearsed line, but as a genuine observation, you are doing something most men never do. You are acknowledging her soul. You might say something like, "I notice that whenever you talk about your work, you get this very specific, focused look in your eyes, like you're somewhere else entirely. What are you actually thinking in those moments? A comment like that is more intimate than a hand on her shoulder. It tells her that you are paying attention to the parts of her that the rest of the world ignores. It creates a feeling of safety and profound connection. When a woman feels truly seen by a man, her defenses drop. She begins to feel an emotional nakedness that is far more arousing than anything physical. You are essentially entering her internal world, and once you are there, you are the only one who matters. The second pillar is the mastery of the subtle challenge. In a world where most men are desperate for female validation, a man who has his own standards is an anomaly. If you agree with everything she says, if you laugh at every joke even when it isn't funny, and if you are always available the second she calls, you are signaling that you have no internal value. You are a fan, not a peer. To create non-physical attraction, you must be a challenge. You must show her that your time, your attention, and your affection are things that must be earned. This doesn't mean being a jerk or being intentionally cold. It means being a man with boundaries. It means having a life that is more important than her. When she realizes that she can't just snap her fingers and have you, she begins to view you as a high-value prize. This creates a psychological phenomenon known as the scarcity effect. We want what we can't easily have. If you are willing to disagree with her, if you are willing to tell her no, and if you are willing to walk away if your standards aren't met, you become magnetic. Imagine a scenario where she suggests a plan that doesn't work for you. Most guys would cancel their own lives to make it happen. You, however, say, "I'd love to see you, but I have things I need to handle tonight. Let's do Thursday instead." That simple act of prioritizing your own life tells her that you are the captain of your own ship. It makes her wonder what else is going on in your world. It makes her want to be a part of it even more. The third pillar is the use of suggestive language and tonal control. Your voice is a physical instrument. It carries a frequency that can literally alter a woman's physical state. Most men speak from their throats, high-pitched, fast, and anxious. They sound like they are asking for permission to speak. To turn a woman on without touch, you must learn to speak from your chest. Your voice should be lower, slower, and filled with pauses. Silence is your greatest ally. Most people are terrified of silence, so they fill it with meaningless chatter. But a man who is comfortable in silence projects massive amounts of confidence. When you speak, let your words have weight. Let them hang in the air. If you tell her she looks beautiful, don't just throw it out like a casual comment. Look her in the eyes, pause for 2 seconds, and say it slowly. Let her feel the weight of the compliment. This creates anticipation. It makes her hang on your every word. Suggestive language isn't about being vulgar or overt. It's about the shadow conversation. It's about the things you imply rather than the things you say. Instead of saying, "I want to kiss you," you might say, "There is a very specific energy between us right now that I think we both feel." That's it. You've acknowledged the tension without breaking it. You've put the thought in her mind and left it there to grow. You are planting seeds of desire that her own imagination will water and nurture. The fourth pillar is the power of the gaze. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, but in the world of attraction, the eyes are a weapon. Most men have shifty eyes. They look at a woman, then look away, then look at her again. It screams insecurity. To master non-physical attraction, you must master the unwavering, soft gaze. This isn't a predatory stare, it's a look of deep, calm interest. When she is speaking, look at her. Don't look at your phone. Don't look at the people walking by. Look at her as if she is the only thing in the room. This creates an invisible bubble around the two of you. It makes her feel like the world has stopped. There is a specific technique you can use called the lingering gaze. When the conversation hits a natural pause, don't look away immediately. Keep your eyes on hers for just 1 or 2 seconds longer than is socially comfortable. In those 2 seconds, the tension will spike. She will feel a rush of heat. She might look away first, or she might smile nervously. Either way, you have won. You have communicated that you are not intimidated by her, and that you are fully aware of the chemistry between you. This kind of eye contact is a form of mental touch. It feels as intimate as a hand on the waist, but because there is no physical contact, the tension remains unresolved. And unresolved tension is the ultimate aphrodisiac. The fifth pillar is the concept of the emotional home. Every human being is looking for a place where they can be their true self. In the dating world, most people are wearing masks. They are playing roles, trying to be the cool girl or the alpha male. But a woman will be deeply, almost addictively attracted to a man who provides her with an emotional home. This means being a man who is grounded. If she is emotional, you remain calm. If she is chaotic, you are steady. You are the rock. When a woman realizes that she can be her most authentic, messy, or vulnerable self around you and you won't be shaken, she will develop a bond with you that is unbreakable. This is how you make her feel seen and understood on a level that transcends physical attraction. You become the one person who truly gets her. And when a woman feels that kind of connection, her body will naturally follow her heart. She will find herself craving your presence because your presence makes her feel better about herself. You aren't just a guy she's dating, you are a sanctuary. This is the ultimate form of high-value behavior. You are not chasing her, you are providing a space that is so valuable she would never want to leave. Now, let's talk about the final secret, the art of the push-pull. This is the psychological dance of showing interest and then pulling back. If you are always pushing, meaning always giving compliments, always initiating contact, always being the one to drive the connection, she has nothing to do. She becomes passive. But if you pull back, if you become a little more mysterious, if you take longer to reply to a text, or if you end a great date first, she is forced to step into the space you've created. She has to start pushing toward you. This is essential because we value the things we work for. If you give her everything for free, it has no value. But if she has to earn your attention, it becomes a treasure. This is how you stay on her mind. When you are together, be 100% present. Make her feel like the queen of the world. But when you are apart, be a ghost. Don't be the guy who is constantly checking in. Let her wonder where you are. Let her wonder who you're with. That mystery is what fuels the fire of attraction when you aren't even in the room. It makes the next time she sees you feel like an event. You are building a narrative in her mind where you are the protagonist, the man of mystery, the challenge she finally wants to win. If you can master these 5 pillars, making her feel seen, being a subtle challenge, controlling your voice and language, using your gaze as a weapon, and being an emotional home, you will never have to worry about tricking a woman into liking you again. You won't have to rely on cheesy lines or aggressive physical moves. You will have developed a magnetic personality that draws women in naturally. You will be the man who doesn't have to touch a woman to make her pulse race. You will be the man she thinks about when she's alone at night, the man whose voice she can still hear in her head, and the man whose gaze she can still feel on her skin. This is the true meaning of masculine power. It is the power of restraint. It is the power of presence. It is the power of knowing that you are enough, just as you are, without having to prove it to anyone. When you reach this level of self-assurance, the world changes. You stop being a hunter and you start being the prize. And that is when the real magic happens. If you found this helpful and want to dive deeper into the psychology of high-value attraction and personal mastery, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a deep dive. If you're ready to stop chasing and start attracting, leave a comment below saying, "I am the prize," to lock in this mindset. Also, check out the description for a free guide on mastering your presence in any social situation. Thanks for watching, and remember, the most powerful connection always starts in the mind. I'll see you in the next one.